I'm hoping like this whole episode is just gonna be like Minami backstory, but we'll see. Also, if Sieg's able to make it so that they can't even use the recovery capsule, I'm really wondering like how they're even gonna deal with him. Okay, flashback. Okay, interesting. I guess it runs in the family. They all worked for Code. Unless he's just making this up. Who knows? Well, you guys probably know if you watched all the episodes so far, but I don't know at this point. Baku must truly be the potential man if they're putting in this many resources to protect him, but at the same time, not really, considering they did kill him. It is nice getting a scene with the two of them just like alone. I don't know if they've actually been able to like interact with each other just by themselves before. Something about most of the seasons that Yuya Takahashi writes, I feel like they have like a very much reoccurring theme of like found family versus like biological family for some reason. And I'm not complaining about it because he does do it quite well. Like he pulls it off in terms of like making it relevant to the plot and characters and like actually make it a part of their characterization. But it's just something that I tend to notice. Whenever he shows up, it's just a sign that bad things are gonna happen. I'm not expecting him to actually beat Sieg in a fight as of right now, but I'm sure he can put up somewhat of a decent fight if Sieg decides to like jump in. Not sure how he's gonna deal with Minami's nightmare form though. Ooh, that's clean. I really like that suit. You know, I already said I wasn't a fan of the last form. I am biased though, since blue is my favorite color. Damn, okay. I see you, Baku. I'm guessing this is gonna be an easy fight from now on because he doesn't have to hold back. Okay, I was right. Yeah, it looks kind of similar to the type of suits they had in 01 with all of the metal and like the line details going on. It's just very nice. And it does have a very nice, like, I tend to like more sleek silhouettes when it comes to suits, so that's also part of it. I'm glad that they didn't, like, their dynamic hasn't really changed much at all. I mean, even after, like, being told that they aren't blood related, like, what are you really gonna... I don't really expect anything to change, considering, I mean, they already live together, and they've, like, spent their entire lives together, but I feel like, depending on the writer, they might have turned that into, like, a whole thing with misunderstandings and stuff, but I think it just shows how solid of a relationship that those two have, so they're just gonna get rid of everybody. To be fair, I'm pretty sure all of them have some sort of experience with a gun, so if we could just all get them guns, I'm sure they could put up somewhat of a fight. But then again, they have guns too, because everybody in the show is strapped up. This place looks nice as hell. I honestly really love the set design this season. It's just so peak. I'm sure they're gonna sell that exact outfit she's wearing on like the premium Bandai store for like $1,000. I still can't get over how good the particle effects look whenever he transforms. Like, I don't know how they do it. Alright, it's Sieg's like weird torture basement or whatever. I really wonder what they're even like planning on doing with the lady. Like, realistically, I feel like it would just be fine if, I don't know, she might die by the end. I don't know if I would count on them giving her a redemption arc of any sort. I feel like that would kind of be like... I feel like that wouldn't really fit with everything that's been going on. If she stays, like, somewhat antagonistic, I would be fine with that, honestly. Some more Nox and Nem interaction. We all know I love that. As much as I'm like, on the suit, it is like incredibly powerful as a form. So it makes sense why he jumps to using it like every opportunity. I know what they're implying here. I'm just waiting for them to like drop the ball and just say it. I remember when I watched the first episode with my boyfriend, that was like, I remember him laughing at that because like, what do you mean you got struck by, or like hit by a meteorite? Not this freaking baby nightmare. I don't hate it as much as like I've seen some other people like talk badly about it and like how they're freaked out by it. For some reason, I actually do kind of like the grayscale base Zeztz suit. I don't know. I feel like it kind of just shows that it's a pretty strong design if it still looks good in grayscale. And what did I tell you? Can't trust people who wear gloves. Yeah, that's, I feel like if it was like some other season or writer, they could have just made, him having bad luck just be like a random character trait, but I feel like in Zeztz, like, they always make every single thing have some sort of explanation behind it. And 9 out of 10 times it's Code's fault. I mean, even if he has, like, good intentions, or he thinks he has good intentions, it doesn't really change the fact that Baku has been through a lot of trauma as a result of whatever Zero is trying to do. Let's see how he justifies, or how he tries to justify all of this. It's very interesting, the parallels going on here, considering that it seems Zero's very much, I don't really give a shit what happens to you, even if you are my son, as long as we can save humanity. And then the lady's like, fuck humanity, they don't want you to exist, so I honestly don't care about them. Yeah, it is this very interesting concept of not exactly yin and yang, but equal action and reaction, kind of. Can't exactly have one over the other. If 3's taken over, then I really wonder how they're gonna get out of this. Having 3 and Sieg together in any kind of way, that's definitely one of the worst outcomes we could have. Considering that it's been like 32 episodes and like a bunch of years since they've actually seen each other in person, I feel like this whole exchange is a lot calmer than I thought it would be. Press a freaking iPad, baby. Honestly, I do enjoy how they're handling this, I guess. I don't know. I don't think either of them are necessarily in the wrong for thinking what they think. I mean, in my opinion, they're both kind of right, because, like, yes, he's his dad, but that still doesn't really change anything that happened, and Baku very much does have, like, trauma from everything. You do have to, like, blame that on Zero, but at the same time, Zero, he can't control the fact that, like, the nightmares exist as a concept, so, like, I can't really blame him for that, but I don't know. I feel like that was like a really decently done cameo, because like in universe it didn't like feel out of place or anything. I also feel like we've been getting a lot more actual scenes of Kamen Riders using motorcycles compared to some of the other more recent series. They are getting creative with it, so I feel like that definitely helps, that they're able to like use the whole dream aspect to just have them like go wherever is necessary for them to like film motorcycle scenes and not get in trouble with the law. Fight scenes are just so good. I don't even know what to say, honestly. With the fight scenes, they use so many special effects, especially with the newer forms, but it never gets to a point where it's like bad or overdone, really. They seem to have a very strong like understanding and use of the CGI. Well, the belt's broken. I mean, they're definitely gonna figure out some way to repair it. Nem flashback? Okay. Maybe not. Is this going to be a Nem focused episode? Because if so, I'm excited. I'm sorry, he looks so much better with his hair combed down, to be honest. It's kind of insane how strong he's been getting. What's Scupra looking like that? Ah, I see. At least it's still in one piece. Unlike at the end of last episode, where it was just like a bunch of broken parts. He'll be alright. I do wonder, is it necessary for them to climb up his balcony every time? Like, at this point, could Minami just like not give him like a key to their place or something? What's he about to do? Okay. I mean, we did see him doing pull-ups and training. What was it? Last episode or the episode before that? I'm glad he can use the capsums at least. I mean, when I wasn't expecting recovery to work, but I was worried that when it didn't work on the belt, it meant that, like, none of them worked. That would have been bad. Oh, okay. That was, like, randomly violent out of nowhere. But man, I feel so bad for Nem. It's just like I was talking about in the last stream. It just feels like everything in her life is just, like, out of her control. And most of her life is pretty shitty. Not all of it was shitty, it was good until she fell into eternal slumber. That is true, that is true. I guess everything that's been more recent has just, it's carried more weight in my mind than the fact that, she didn't get to live a decently good, like, celebrity life before. This is another classic near-death experience for Baku. Baku and Nem are just, like, such good mirrors to each other. Like, I can't wait for the show to end so I can eventually make a character analysis video just, like, yapping about it. Because I feel like there's just so much going on that connects the two of them as characters and, like, thematically. We're just getting to work with the power tools. Oh my god, is he using an Arduino kit? Me too, bro. I kind of like how the idea of purgatory in this show is kind of just like an average day of class for me. And I hate to point it out, but I find it interesting how they gave him the black wig to, like, signify time passing within this space, even though he has the brown hair when he's in this form. Oh, I already know it's gonna be peak. Ooh, wish it wasn't a cliffhanger. You can't go wrong with a rainbow form. I feel like it's pretty hard to mess that up, especially with all the textures and everything that Zeztz tends to use for their suits. Ooh, and okay. I love that it's like a pure, what would you even call it? It's like a netted black undersuit. Ooh, you know things are getting serious when the music kicks in. I'm sure if you tortured him, he'd be into it. Man's too crazy. Oh, dude, I'm sure somebody's gonna make this in real life or something. Imagine this being your bedroom door. So bro's always been moving crazy like that. Bro's insane. Killing his own dad. So, from what I'm understanding, Sieg is basically like the King Von of Zeztz, or the Toku cinematic universe in general. If he only ever killed in dreams, how did they know it was him? That is, You know, I wouldn't put it past him to purposely leave behind evidence that it was him, just because he would want the credit for what he did, you know? Oh, you know, it's getting crazy when they're on Twitter. Low-key, that's kind of what my bedroom looks like. Not as bad, but I did just clean though, so we're all good. We're finally getting another 1v1 with these two. I thought it was gonna happen, like, earlier. I also do like the change in how they enunciate that. Absolute cinema, absolute rider. Oh yeah. Ooh, I like the sparkly plastic that they're using for, like, the top part of the helmet. Damn, there's a lot going on right now, but this is insane. All the budget went right there. Honestly, they somehow keep surprising me, like, every episode. With Zeztz, I feel like the consistency of every fight scene is more apparent than other series have been able to do. How do you even beat this? Honestly, I don't know. Like, Sieg's power to change the outcome of dreams, I thought that was already kind of just like something happening and then him going like, nuh-uh. But then this new form is basically just like, you know, doing the exact same thing back to him. Yeah, it's basically like role-playing as kids, being like, oh, no, actually, you didn't beat me because I did this thing and it beats your move or whatever. Ooh, what a frame. That's, oh. Like, there's so many good visual moments in Zeztz. I don't even know where to even begin. They're begging me to make fan art of every single frame of the show. That was an insane fight, especially considering that Sieg's not even like well, he's like kind of up there when it comes to like all of the agents that they have, or just like any of the enemies that exist in the show. But considering that we still have Lord 3, whoever else decides to like go crazy, be like the final boss, Also, I was waiting on saying this, but I hope that they sell some of this NEM merch in real life. I would like one of those acrylic standees that they keep showing in the background. Oh boy, seems like he's next then. Obligatory camping slash vacation episode, I guess. Oh, she's back. It's been a while. I low-key forgot she was still out there. Was eating leaves. I thought he was gonna say he was eating like 3D printed meat or something. Bro's back to being addicted to gambling. Nice email address there. Hey, if he's already foraging by the river, why can't he just like go catch some fish or something? Ooh, the Kewpie mayo. So it doesn't just, the snow didn't just wipe their memories. It's like altering anything in relation to the nightmares that they see. I guess this is their plan, to just take them all out. Not the most ideal situation right now, but I am glad we get to see her suit again. I'm like hung up on this, but can you just imagine seeing two random dudes in the middle of the street, like screaming and crying about the fact that they're supposedly seeing like their 2D waifu right in front of their eyes. The visual style of the entire show is kind of just so good. Also, I don't know how to feel about the other dude. I mean, obviously she's important to the plot, but like they're showing more of her. But the fact that like the other dude is kind of just like there, I don't know. Oh, okay, here it is. Oh boy, call me a contrarian, but I understand why people are mad about her dying and it just being like one of many cases of female characters getting screwed over. But I feel like Zeztz specifically was probably not the place to look for that to be handled in the way most people would want it to, considering one of the biggest themes of Zeztz is that they are all seen as like disposable, replaceable things to be used until it's time to throw them away. So I feel like plot-wise, it makes sense. And I'm not that angry because I feel like considering that it like adds to that part of the story, it's not surprising that that is how, you know, she ends up. I know the real reason they did this because Kureha's actress is busy with other projects. Yeah, that, you know, that's like the real world explanation for it, and that's totally fine. Also, are we really about to do this again? Maybe this is cope, but I feel like the ending to the show, maybe Baku could like rewrite reality and like everybody that deserves to be alive is alive again, and they can reuse that footage that they filmed of the barbecue, but that's like actually a real thing that's now happening, and they can all have like a happy ending together, you know? I wasn't expecting to like actually see what Phantom looked like. I thought she was just gonna be like stay as a like a disembodied voice or something. Oh, okay. He's just there. This is one of those moments where I can't tell if they would have like always planned to write this scene in, or if it's just like a thing where they casted such a great actor and they liked him so much and like the audience liked him so much that they just like had to bring him back for something. All Out Attack, Persona reference. Oh, who the hell is this? Oh, okay, I guess they're all in on it. I mean, hey, if they're about to do anything to Minami, we already know Baku's gonna like crash out and not kill everybody, but he'll teach them a lesson. It's gonna be interesting seeing these two fight it out. Oh, that's so cool. I really was not expecting him to get like a upgrade at any point. I'm honestly kind of surprised I didn't like at least de-transform him. I don't know. Okay, I see why now. I spoke too soon. Well, okay. He's back to being an op. Oh, here come these guys. I do love the dichotomy of the last time that we saw Baku in this exact same space and him now. Considering that last time he completely ignored that very helpless civilian that was hurt. And this time he's actually like putting up a fight and standing up for what he actually believes in. I didn't think it was possible for him to get even more like emo, but now not only does he have the skunk stripe hair, but he has red eyes.